All right, the next rookie one we're going to have is Spin versus Matthew driving Goldrush. Matthew's an experienced driver, but this is the first time using this robot. It's a very experimental design, and we'll see if it hangs together long enough to make it through a fight. And it's going to be going up against Spin, which is also a modified FingerTech Robotics Viper kit, but it has a horizontal spinning bar as opposed to the vertical spinning disc. Do we need a volunteer for that one too?
Yes.
Okay. And we're also going to need a volunteer for what was it, Spin. And I did see somebody else last time who was interested, so Goku, if you want to come join me. He put his hand up last time. I want to give both of them a chance. All right, buddy, so yeah, you're on this side. We'll show you how to use it in just a second. So Ty is going to be our driver here. Once again, never driven a robot like this one before. This should be interesting because both of these, despite being rookie class opponents, both of them have very heavy weapons. This is actually one of the larger spinners that I've seen in the rookie class. And I'm pretty sure Matthew's vertical spinner there is going to be quite dangerous if it functions at all. His is also an issue. Yeah, he's not sure. Not 100% sure on this one, but if it does, it should be great. One thing interesting about Goldrush here is that you can see it's completely symmetric. So even if it's flipped upside down, it's got wedges on both sides. It's got the same kind of profile for it. So it should be able to work almost equally well in both cases. The only difference, I think, will be that instead of spinning up, which is normally the way you'd want your weapon to go, normally we design our weapons to do like an uppercut and like push your opponent up because you put your foot to the floor and you hit him. Unfortunately, if he flips over, his weapon will be instead facing down into the ground, and it'll just kind of like nibble away on them as he gets pushed up by his own weapon. So hopefully he'll be able to keep it right-sided or have some way of getting himself on the right side. FingerTech using the veteran's trick, just bend it really hard until it works.
The other way.
This is what I was saying about them not liking to drive straight. Parts will drag on the ground. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. Something has to be on the ground, and if you only have two wheels, the third part is some low part of the robot. In this case, I can see even from here, it's bowed slightly, so either the left corner or the right corner of that wedge is going to be dragging on the ground, and depending on which one you're dragging on, you're going to pivot around that corner. So if he can bend it well enough, he might be able to get it low in the center instead of on the edges, and then it'll kind of drive straight-ish. But honestly, this is just the way these robots are. You learn how your robot drives, how it responds, and you just counter steer to make up for it. It's like that old car you had when you turned 16 and finally got to drive. And, you know, you had to hold the wheel on the left side and bang the door really hard to get it to open, you know, that kind of stuff.
Taking the gas at the stoplight.
All right, drivers are ready in 3, 2, 1, fight. All right, Spin is spun up, and Goldrush is too. Sounds nice and quiet. Oh, right into the front of it. That green thing was a little bit of tape that was on Goldrush. I'm not sure what the purpose of that was, but it's gone now. And that vertical spinning weapon doing a good job against Spin there. The spinning weapon on Spin has a little bit of trouble getting started. There's a couple different kinds of motors that we tend to use. There's brushed and brushless. Brushless ones tend to be more powerful for their weight, but they also have trouble spinning up from a dead stop sometimes. So sometimes you just got to wiggle it around or hit it into a weapon or something like that. But once it gets going, they're very effective. Speaking of effective, that weapon on Goldrush is working really well. And looks like the weapon on Spin has come loose. It is no longer functioning properly, but it is still a very capable wedge bot. And there is an open side over by the blue there, so it is possible that Ty might be able to push Matthew's Goldrush out the side. But it's going to take a little bit of skill driving, and we are first-timers, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. In the meantime, Goldrush trying to decide if he wants to be a wedge or a spinning bot, not sure which. He does have a good little spinner there, actually. It's grabbing the wheels nicely. When it can hit from behind, it does toss the opponent. So far, it's already managed to break the weapon on Spin and put a few chunks of the tires. And he narrowly pushed it into the blue side. So the winner is Matthew with Goldrush. Good job. So that there is an example of what happens with experience at driving, because he did something really key there that may not have been obvious to first-timers. Even though he wasn't pushing him necessarily or hitting him hard, he was closing off the places where Ty was able to drive. He was slowly but surely narrowing him down to having to go out to the blue side there. So just by being in the way, nudging at him a little bit, kind of forcing his hand, he was eventually put into a position that he was unable to get away from that side.